So I will display verse, then we will recite and discuss. So, Lord Sri Krishna, when Arjun got very disappointed and confused, he started explaining the science of soul. So in chapter 2, in starting, Lord Sri Krishna explained the science of soul, and these slokas, these texts, especially from 12, 11th slok to 30 slok, these are especially explain the nature of soul, the science and nature of soul. So today's verse also related to soul. So we will recite Vasansi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. You can recite also if you are in situation of to unmute yourself and recite Vasansi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. Navani Granati Naro Parani. तथा शरीरानि विहाय जीर्णानि
तथा शरीराय विहाय जीवनानि
अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
अन्यानि सयाति नवानि देहि
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय
नवानि गृह्णाति नरो पराणि
नवानि गृह्णाति नरो पराणि
तथा शरीरानि विहाय जीर्णानि
तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि
अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
अन्यानि सयाति नवानि देहि.
So if you want to recite, you can also speak. Rahul, do you want to recite? No. Okay. So, word meaning, translation and purport by Shri Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Vasansi,
वासांसि
Jirnani,
जीर्णानि old
and worn out.
worn out.
Yatha,
just as
just as.
just as
Vihaya,
Vihaya giving up
giving. Navani,
Navani
new garments.
new garments.
Granati,
Nati
does accept.
does accept.
Narahu,
Naru
a man.
Amen.
Aparani,
Aparani others.
Tatha, in the same way.
In the same way.
Sarirani,
Vihani
bodies.
bodies.
Vihaya,
Vihaya
giving up.
giving up.
Jirnani,
Vihani
old and useless.
old and useless.
Anyani,
Anyani
different.
different.
Sayati,
Sayati
verily accepts.
Verity
Navani,
Navani
sets.
Nusat
Dehi,
Dehe
the embodied.
embodied.
Translation can recite. As a person
As a person
puts on new garments,
puts on new garment,
giving up old ones,
giving up old ones,
the soul similarly accepts
the soul similarly accepts
new material bodies,
a material body,
giving up the old and useless ones.
giving up the old and useless one.
Purport. So, here patiently I will read. Change of body by the atomic individual soul is an accepted fact. Even though modern scientists who don't believe in the existence of the soul, but at the same time cannot explain the source of energy from herd. Have to accept continuous changes of body, which appear from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to youth, and again from youth to old age. From old age, the change is transferred to another body. This has already been explained in a previous verse, 2.13. Transference of the atomic individual soul to another body is made possible by the grace of Supersoul. Supersoul fulfills the desire of the atomic soul, as one friend fulfills the desire of the another. The Vedas, like the Mundak Upanishad as well as the Svetasvatra Upanishad, compare the soul and the Supersoul to two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. One of the bird, the individual atomic soul, is eating the fruit of the tree, and the other bird, Krishna, is simply watching his friend. Of these two birds, although they are the same in quality, one is captivated by the fruits of the material tree, while the other is simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Krishna is the witnessing bird, and Arjuna is eating bird. Although they are friends, one is still the master, and the other is the servant. Forgetfulness of this relationship by the atomic soul is cause of one's changing his position from one tree to another, or from one body to another. The Jeev soul is struggling very hard on the tree of the material body. But as soon as he agrees to accept the other bird as the supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to do by voluntarily surrender unto Krishna for instruction, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all lamentation. Both the Mundak Upanishad 3.1.2 and Svetar Upanishad 4.7 confirm this. Samane vrakshe puruso nimagno anisaya sochati muhyamano jiso yada pashyati anyamesam asya mahimanam iti veta soka. Although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, who is the Lord and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxiety. Arjuna has now turned his face toward his eternal friend Krishna and is understanding the Bhagavad Gita from him. And thus, hearing from Krishna, he can understand the supreme glories of the Lord and be free from lamentation. Arjuna is advised herewith by the Lord not to lament for the bodily change of his old grandfather and his teacher. He should rather be happy to kill their bodies in the righteous fight so that they may be cleansed at once of all reaction from various bodily activities. One who lays down his life on the sacrificial altar or in the proper battlefield is at once cleansed of bodily reactions and promoted to a higher status of life. So there was no cause for Arjuna's lamentation. So we will recite Mangalacharan and short Mangalacharan and then we will discuss this verse. Namagyantimanandasya Dhyananjan Salakya Chakramlitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschat Desatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Sadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ekam karoti vachalam pangam langhayate girim tatpatamaham Shri Gurudena Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeswaram. So today we are discussing chapter 2, which is very important chapter and the essence of all Bhagavad Gita. Contents of the Gita summarized is the essence of all Bhagavad Gita. great Acharya Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So disappearance was yesterday. He was very influential Acharya in the lineage of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he said that one who understands the second chapter nicely, then he can understand full Bhagavad Gita. So this chapter is very important. And especially in this chapter, Krishna gives knowledge about soul, knowledge about actions, knowledge about super soul, knowledge about pure devotional service, knowledge about how we can get liberation. Now, various aspects Krishna covered in this chapter, and everything actually is covered in second chapter, but Arjuna is not able to understand. So he asked many questions, so the chapter starts. So although every chapter, every shloka, and every line, every word is important in Bhagavad Gita, still the second chapter is essence of all Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada give this name as contents of the Bhagavad Gita summarized. In Sanskrit, Vedyas, Lord Vedyas give the name of second chapter as Sankhya Yoga. Because in this, Lord Krishna, with analytical study, he explained all the things, especially the soul. So when Arjuna said that I am totally confused and I accept you as my spiritual master, please explain me what is best for me. There are two things, prayer and Shreya. So Arjuna said that I am not asking about prayer. I want to hear what is Shreya for me, which is really beneficial for me, not apparently beneficial. Sometimes we are looking for things we like, but ultimately these things, these habits, these persons, these situations, ultimately they are not very good for us. Still we like that. That is called prayer. But the situation or condition or person or any object which is really beneficial for us, that is Shreya. So Arjuna said that, yes, Shreya Shat Nishchitam Bruhitan me. Whatever is best for me, please, Nishchitam, definitely tell me. I will accept. So Lord Krishna start Bhagavad Gita and said that you are talking like a very learned man, but still by your words, it's clear that you are a rascal fool. Because who is a intelligent man or learned man, he never lament for things which are going to die. Because death is sure. That's why sometimes when we give surety about something, one say that as sure as death. But still, people ignore this real factor and they are always forgetful about that. So, but who is very intelligent, he know death is sure. So, he never lament for the things which is destined to die. So, he never lament for living or dead. Sometimes there are many persons who said that there is no God, there is no soul, there is nothing, only chemical. They accept chemical theory, and we are chemical, you are chemical, everything is chemical. But when some person who is loved ones of that person die, then he start weeping. You are a rascal fool. If everyone is chemical, why you are weeping? What is the need to cry? Everyone is chemical, and chemical is the same in living body and dead body. So why you are crying? But still they cry. They lament for even for some physical objects, material objects. People started crying. Their loving object, sometimes it breaks or it is stolen, then they cry. So, but intelligent person, not like that. Asocyan anusochastam pragyavadansh bhasase. Gatasun agatasunascha nanu sochanti pandita. Who is the real pandit? He never lament for the living nor for the dead. Because you know the truth in reality, the truth of this material world. So that is explained by Krishna in previous verse, and in full Bhagavad Gita explain the real truth of material world. So in today's verse, especially, he is giving one more analogy to understand soul. So he said that vasansi jirnani yatha vihar, like we put on new garments after giving up the old ones. When the old garments are torn or they are not suitable for wearing purpose or not usable, then we take the new garments. For some time, although they are usable, still we like newer and newer garments. So we change, but no person will lament that I have given up the old garment and now I have taken a new garment. So it's very bad. I am very sad. Like that, intelligent person can understand this body is also like a garment. Every time we are changing it. We have a body which is very small. No, it was a small child. Body is a small child, but gradually it grown up to a boyhood, childhood to boyhood. Then in boyhood we play with other boys or many various activities. We can remember that I myself have that childhood body, but gradually my body developed to youthhood. Although I am the same boy, but my body changed totally. So every time the body is changing, like our garments. In childhood, we wear some different type of clothes. Although we are very attached to that cloth or we like it very much, still now if someone tell that you are very attached to this shirt, so now take it and wear it. But no one feels so much attraction for those time shirts. Although that time they are very attached. Sometimes they fight for that. So like that, the fools, they cannot understand that I am not this body, but I am the proprietor of this body. They identify oneself with this body, but actually Krishna said that this body is like a garment, cloth. So like we change cloth, this we are the soul. We are the proprietor of this body. We change this body. So everyone has the experience of this. We have changed this body from childhood to youthhood at least. And gradually we can see that we are growing older and older. We are already died. We make happy birthday. We said that I am 30 years old, 20 years old. It means our body is already old because it was 20 years old. But we are not that. We are actually not this body. So Krishna explaining by this analogy that like we wear clothes, like that we are wearing this body. And Prabhupada explained this fact on a small book also, that like in clothes, although clothes has no a particular shape, but when it is made in some garments, then it's designed or it's given shape according to the body of that person who are going to wear it. So this kurta have two hands. Because we have two hands, that's why this kurta had two hands. Sometimes if someone has no hand, then there is no need of one hand. So according to our body, this dress, the garments are designed or given shape. Like that, this body is given shape because we have a particular shape. In a conditioned state, our consciousness is uh, undeveloped in various stages. In 84 lakhs of species, our consciousness is bounded by three modes of nature. So that is not developed. So whatever desire we have, that type of consciousness we have, and that type of body we develop. So there are various type of body. According to types of body, there are 84 billion species. So this is 8 million species, no? 84 lakhs. 1 million equal to 10 lakhs. 8 million 400. 84, 8.4 million. So these are actually the quantity of various type of designs, various types of bodies. So Krishna, 54 lakhs. So Krishna is giving this example, and Prabhupada explaining in purport that in various scriptures it's explained that in this body we are two. One is soul and one is super soul. So like in a tree, on a tree, there are many birds sitting. So in this bodily tree, there are two birds sitting on it. First is super soul and second is soul. So, but this body, proprietor of this body is soul, and the original proprietor of this body or other body is also super soul. So what they are doing in this bodily tree? So they are one is eating the fruits of this body or utilizing it for their own desire to fulfill their desires, and other is seeing, other bird, super soul, is seeing that what this soul, eating bird, is doing. So super soul is simply seeing whatever the soul bird is doing or whatever fruit he is eating. So there are two birds. So in this Mundaka Upanishad and Shweta Upanishad, it's explained that Samane Vraksha Purso Nimagno. There are two birds. But one bird who is eating the fruits of this body. Sometimes fruits are very bitter, sometimes they are very sour, sometimes very sweet. The soul is eating the fruits of this material body, and sometimes he feels pleasure, sometimes he feels very sad. Various type of pains and pleasures, totally confused, totally distressed, many type of frustrations gets. Why? Because it forget about the super soul. It forgets that this body actually belongs to super soul. It forgets, he think that this body is for me. I can utilize it as per my desire, and I will enjoy with this body. But actually, this body is not our property. This body is originally belonged to super soul. It's given to us for some time being, but now later it will taken away. So if in Mundak in it's explained that if the bird who is eating the fruits of this material body, if we understand that this body, the whole soul proprietor is super soul, and this body should be utilized according to his desire and his instructions. This body is given to us to know who am I, to know that I am soul, and only not this much, but also to know that who is the super soul, who gives me this body. Actually, this body is given by the arrangement of super soul. So one who knows, Justam yada pashyati ayam isam. When he sees the super soul, then asya mahimanam iti vita soka. Then by the glories of the super soul, by the greatness of the super soul, all the pains and pleasures, all the lamentations, the frustrations, depression, all the anxieties will go away. The soul will free from all type of anxiety. So this Bhagavad Gita is especially for this purpose, to remove all type of pains from the lives of human being, which the human body is very suitable for understanding these things. In animal body, also there are various type of fruits is given, but in human body we can understand this whole soul science, and then understand the super soul and utilize this body to understand him, to understand his glories, and to remove all type of anxiety from our life. So this is the Prabhupada's purport. The Prabhupada want to say that Arjuna is lamenting for the bodily change of his old grandfather and his teacher. So Prabhupada is saying, oh, Lord Krishna is saying that why are you lamenting for your grandfather and teacher? They are not this body. This body is killed actually. No. Atma cannot never be killed. Soul can never be killed. So they will get newer body. They will get new, nice body. So that's good. Why you are lamenting? And they are pure souls, so they get very wonderful body, or they will come to my spiritual world. So there is no need to lament for your grandfather or teacher or other ones, or everyone. Each and everyone here assembled in this Kurukshetra, all are spiritual. There is no exception of this. Everyone is actually soul. So there is no need to lament for anyone. And you should do your duty, that is fight. And this fight is also very wonderful, because if they die, they get higher planets, and they will eradicate all the reactions of their sinful activities. So their reactions, their bodily activities, there are many reactions, pious and impious. So by that we get pains and pleasures. So if someone get this opportunity to fight for dharma yuddha, then he will promoted to higher planets, higher status of life. And one more Prabhupada said that who is sacrificed in the uh, yajna, he also get the wonderful nice body. So overall, in this sloka, Lord Krishna explained that we should not lament. No, the intelligent person should not lament, like we not lament for our dress, no, or clothes, like that. If we get new one, then we easily give up the old ones. Like that, we should not take an anxiety about this body so much that always we remember this body. But we should try to utilize this body for the higher purpose. That is to understand glories of Krishna, glories of Super Soul. And if we know glories of Super Soul, then we will free from all anxiety, and we understand how to do proper work in the proper consciousness. So you can learn these things from this verse. So we will stop here. If you have any question or doubt, you can unmute yourself and ask, or any comment you can tell. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Do you have some question?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I want to ask you that you're telling the analogy of soul. The soul also have hands and legs, because just like we have clothes.
Hmm.
So this body also have hands.
Hmm.
So, but in this material world, the soul size is 10,000 times of tip of the hair. Then how can then why these hands are here? Because the soul is so because the soul size is very less. Then uh, why this much hand? Why this much height? So it does not
Mhm.
seem to be perfect in this material world. Maybe in a spiritual world there may be height like same hands and legs, but in this material world the soul has size of 10,000 uh, 10,000th time of tip of hair. So how to understand?
So actually, the size of soul is given in scriptures as 10,000 part of a tip of the hair. So that is the material calculation. In this material world, this is the size. Like a seed is very small, and when it puts in earth and given proper facilities, proper environment, then it develops in a big tree. So there are various types of seed, and their size and their shape will different. Like that, soul has in this material world, soul has this much of size. But in Krishna explained that the soul is actually not measurable. Aparimeya. It's not properly measured because in spiritual worlds it develops according to the mood of service. So it gets it has everything, Sachidanand Vigraha. It's part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Sachidanand. So it has it's not limited, although it's not unlimited, but by mercy of Krishna, if it desires for service of Krishna, everything and anything is possible by will of Krishna. So Krishna is independent, and it's Krishna is ultimate and infinite. So like that, soul can expand oneself also according to service opportunity of Krishna. So the soul size is not fixed, but in material world it is covered by ignorance, and its original identity is not revealed. So in scriptures it's given that in material world it's actually in the size of tip of a hair, but in a spiritual world it grows in a spiritual body. So in material world,
So that means the analogy is given of kurtas, that the kurta also hands is actually for spiritual world, not for material. Is it right or wrong?
so in the spiritual world there are dress, different type of dress, like Lord Krishna is
No,
is
actually,
dhoti.
actually, I'm asking that the analogy of that shirts also have hands, pants also have legs. So, so this analogy actually is for spiritual world, not for material world. Is it correct that this analogy only apply on spiritual world when?
No. This it's for material world only. Because in a spiritual world there is no difference in soul and its body. Like Krishna has no difference in his body and soul. Like that, the soul in a spiritual world is not different from his body. Soul has its own spiritual body which is developed according to Krishna's service. In this material world, it's covered by this material body, but in a spiritual world, no covering is there. There is no need of any covering because it's totally surrendered to Krishna. So there is no need to any bound essence. So in the material world, it's the example. But how can we understand that what tip of the hair is the size? And so according to his desire or his actions, Krishna gives him a particular body. Different type of body Krishna has made according to different desires of sense gratification. The soul create many types of desire, and according to these desires, to fulfill these desires, Krishna mercifully made these various type of bodies. In spiritual worlds, there are also various type of bodies for service of Krishna, but there is no difference in soul and body. So in material world, Prabhupada has given this analogy that like our body has a particular type of shape, so our clothes have a particular type of shape. So Prabhupada, to explain that the soul has a shape, to explain this, Prabhupada gives this analogy.
So
Because
this shape is actually in material world, na?
no, This bodily shape is in material world, but soul has its own shape in
In
its
spiritual world
spiritual world also.
also means
Huh? Because in material world also it has shape.
what
It's
shape?
like that. It has size of tip of the hair and it's shapeless. Prabhupada
No,
also
it's
this
not
example
shapeless.
at one small point. Sometimes it's defined that there is no height and no length and breadth. But if we see with a higher capacity microscope, it has length, it has breadth. So like that soul, although it's very small, 10,000 part of the tip of the hair, still it has a particular shape. The original shape is always there, but it's covered by dirty mind. So mind will identify with different type of desires, and according to these desires and these activities, by the arrangement of Krishna, we get a particular type of body. Is it clear?
This is higher philosophy. I will take much more time, but my chanting is pending. So I will come there and I will ask you personally.
Not understand what you are saying?
I am telling that this sounds like a very high means very higher philosophy kind. Sound like it is a higher philosophy. So actually, my question is, I'm not satisfied, but my chanting is remaining. So I will ask you.
Okay.
I will come there and ask you again.
I have given answer. You, when you get time, hear patiently, analyze it. If it still have question, you can ask again. So, thank
Okay.
you very much. Hare Krishna. So, bye.